The Institute of Culinary Arts here at Metropolitan Community College prepares students for a variety of exciting careers. And here in the Sage Bistro on the Fort Omaha campus, students learn the business of operating a restaurant. And today, we're going to meet culinary instructors and students and see how they learn this business. I'm Kent Pavelka. This is Metro and More. Thanks for joining us. Greetings from the set of Metro and More at Metropolitan Community College, serving more than 50,000 students with over 120 programs at our 8 locations in the daytime, evening, weekends, or online. Hi everybody, welcome to the kitchen of the Sage Bistro. With me are culinary arts instructors Janet Marr and Deke Reichard. And Janet and Deke, thanks for having us. I've never been in a kitchen before, but there's a lot to the bistro, including the kitchen. We'll get into that. First of all, a little bit about yourselves, your areas of expertise, your titles here at the college and the Institute of Culinary Arts, and we'll go from there.
So, I'm the baking pastry instructor in the program here, and one of my major functions is to teach and also help students who are near graduation to be the pastry chef of our night bistro restaurant.
So. You focus on pastry primarily.
Pastry.
And you've been at the college how long, Janet?
I've been at the college for about 15, 16 years.
15, 16 years. Deke, what about you?
My area is the casual dining. I'm the lead for casual dining, which provides the food service for the bistro, lunch food service for the bistro. So my students come in at 7 o'clock in the morning and do all the production to produce and execute service in the bistro when we are in session.
Yes.
So it is just like working in a live restaurant. We're providing food and beverage for paying customers. So it's a great experience for the students, especially if they have not worked in the industry, to get that live time, real experience.
Perfect. This is a treat to be here in the kitchen. I mean, it's this is where it really happens. But there's much more to the bistro than just the kitchen. Kind of take us through a tour. First of all, what are we looking at here at the kitchen?
You're the owner of this kitchen.
Well, I share this kitchen with quite a few people. However, this is primarily where the production takes place in the morning when we come in to get all of the products ready. We refer to our mise en place, which is everything in its place. We use a lot of French terminology because we've adopted a lot of that French terminology. So the mise en place, or the production for the service, goes on in the back area here, and then we move up to the actual line. So our target is to be done by about 10:30, so we can figure out what's still missing for service. When the student first comes into the program or into this class, we do an orientation with them as far as how the bistro service will run. We also explain to them that they will be not only working each one of these stations throughout the quarter, but they'll also be training the other students to replace them on the stations that they've been on. So it's truly a great experience for the students, and in my opinion, and I'm not just prejudiced because it's my class, but in my opinion, one of the best classes that they can take before getting out into the industry.
Yeah. So, Janet, tell us about the pastry.
So I run the pastry department here at the restaurant at night. So in the morning, there's the lunch service that Deke is involved in. At night, we have a restaurant, and Chef Solberg is the savory chef, and I'm the sweet side of the baking. So my student, I actually manage 3 different classes all at once. So my class there is a group of students who are the pastry chef of the night restaurant, and their job, they're about to graduate. Their job is to develop menu every week that they will execute and deliver to the guests.
Of course, the only thing that the patrons, the people who come for lunch and dinner, when class is in session, the only thing they see is the dining room.
Right.
And you've got the dining room. We're looking at that. How many do you seat?
Approximately 80. We do have additional seating available on a patio area in season, and since we're in Nebraska, that's a question mark sometimes, but the season will be. But so we can seat up to about 96 people at one time, and we do that quite frequently, especially when the weather is in our favor. And so the customer service students are playing the role of the waiter, waitress, servers, if you will, which again is a great experience for them. A lot of the students have never been in a position like that where they are face-to-face interacting with the guest. So it is quite challenging for them at times. We have students that are either in culinary or baking and pastry that really have no long-term goals to be front of the house, but it's important that they learn that aspect of the business because we need to get that feedback from the customer and realize that that's why we're here.
So is this a one-quarter proposition? I mean, is this toward the end of their studying that they do the Sage Bistro part?
There are two stages. DEEK is the stage one where students are finished with their first year's program, and then it's their first opportunity to do real cooking for guests. And then Chef Solberg and I do the second year students where they now are doing more fine dining experiences just before they graduate.
So does that is the first experience for lunch and the second experience
Absolutely.
for dinner?
Absolutely.
I see. Perfect. This is really fascinating. So you've got the ranges and the ovens on the one side of the line. Is that how it works?
Correct.
So how does the food get from the ranges and the ovens and the prep part, where we're at, to the line itself?
Well, once again, this is basically our production area to get all of the components together ready for service.
This is part of the line then?
Well, no, the line is
over there.
specifically
Yeah.
over
Right,
here
right.
where we have the specific stations for the students to work. So it all kind of starts back here
Right.
and kind of builds up till service, and then...
So do all the students get experience in all these areas?
Yes.
So that must be a coordination nightmare.
It has its moments.
Yeah.
So this is a one quarter, actually twice, right?
For our student it's a progression. The first quarter they would learn to do just production, making bread, making little things to serve, and then the second quarter they would actually make the desserts that go out to our guests.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's two separate classes as far as the customer service students that are actually waiting on the customers.
Uh-huh.
So that is one particular class that are all first-year students. Okay, it's in their first year of the progression of the program. And then the actual casual dining class that I teach is the class that is producing the food that is going out to the customer. So we've got two classes going on at the same time, with different leads, different instructors, and so a lot of coordination to go on.
Yeah, I think the fascinating thing is it's unique to Metropolitan Community College
Yes, it
Culinary Arts that you can walk out of here with your with a real world experience.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which
And-
is so very important too.
And by the way, the food is to die for here.
That's what we hear.
All you have to do is go to the website and find out when class is in session, and that's when you're open, right?
Absolutely.
Lunch and dinner.
Correct.
Wonderful. We've got, how many students at a given time are working this class?
My class is typically smaller, so it's usually only about 5 students. And then the customer service class is generally about 6 to 8 students with 3 student managers that are also at the tail end of the program.
So there are only 5 people in the kitchen at a
in
time?
the kitchen, and myself. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Because there were a whole bunch more a minute ago, but
Right.
that was at the end of lunch when we talked.
Well, this kitchen is also sharing space with other people who are doing other things for the school and for our program.
Gotcha.
So.
Janet, Deke, thanks. We've got a couple of students we want to chat with, so let's make way for them, and
Absolutely.
we'll be right back with that. And from Chef Janet and Chef Deke to our students, Latrell and Joseph. good to have you here. Thanks for chatting with us here, because we wanted to find out a little bit about what really goes on from the student's perspective. Joe, you are about to graduate.
Yes.
And your focus has been on baking, right?
Yeah, baking and pastry.
Yeah. But you've had experience in this dining room?
Yes, I've experienced a lot of savory cooking just down the hall a little bit in the theory labs. But I've never been specifically in this lab before.
Yeah. How did you come to decide on baking as what you wanted to do?
Just to make a long story short, I got inspired when I was younger in baking at home, basically. And this was the closest culinary school that was in the Midwest to me, so I was very fortunate enough just to move from South Dakota to Omaha. So I've been here for almost 3 years now.
How do you feel about your experience and what you've learned here?
It's been really amazing, really. We have been taught, so well from the bottom up, as coming in here with really little to no knowledge and then leaving with a lot of things to think about and to share with the culinary world too.
Yeah, just a 2-year thing. When do you make a decision on where you want to focus? Because you went into baking. Latrell, what's your focus?
My major is culinary arts and management.
Oh, management.
The savory part.
What's that?
The savory part.
The savory
Cooking.
part. I see. Yeah. When you say management, is that a focus? Or are you talking about the kitchen, or what do you want to do?
Well, what I want to do eventually is to have my own catering business, but culinary arts is something that I've always liked since I was in high school. I was in an FHA, and I went to school in Florida, so I decided that I liked cooking. So it was fun, and you can be yourself, you can be creative, you come up with dishes, and it tastes good. So I figured, you know what, I could do this forever.
Perfect.
So I just decided to, long story short, went through the military, came here. They told me about Metro Community College. I said, oh, well, why not? So I went ahead and signed up for the culinary arts and management, and here I am now.
You're just beginning your second year?
I'm beginning of my second year.
Yeah. And you're from Florida, you're from
Yes.
South Dakota.
Yes.
How many students at a given time are in like your class and your class?
For baking, the most I've had would probably be around 16. So it does get quite cramped, but we do get paid attention to a lot, and the instructors are really kind to help us out one-on-one if we need to.
Same here.
Latrell, tell me a little bit about working in the kitchen here for the first time and getting food ready to serve to the public.
So my first time working in the kitchen, I was ready, but then it was like, oh wait, we have to prep everything. So for my initial shock was I have to make everything, like every sauce, every relish, like everything. So I was just like, okay, well, let's do it then. I'm all for it. So I was the initial shock was like surprising, but after a couple of weeks of doing the same thing, it becomes repetitive. So it's just getting easier and easier every week.
Must be really fun to be able to actually take a class that is just like working in the industry. I mean, this is like a restaurant. It is a restaurant.
It is.
Bistro, yeah. Real quickly, why would you encourage others who are interested in this profession to consider Metropolitan Community College?
It is really great training towards your profession. You'll know a lot more beyond your degree, where it comes down to customer service and restaurant management, but specifically focusing more on your degree, you'll just learn so much. There's just so much you can find out that you never knew, and then you can, impress people with the skills that you learn and what you leave with.
You bet.
And for me, I would definitely encourage anyone who has a dream about, cooking as I did at a young age of 16, just live your dream, come to Metropolitan Community College, join the culinary art track. It is like the most, I would say, exhilarating experience ever. You learn anything from knife cuts to how to prep before you cook like a huge meal for a lot of people.
Sure.
And it's totally different from home cooking.
Exactly.
So
You learn that in a hurry.
clear.
Yeah.
Right. But once you're in here, you learn a whole lot of essential things that you need that will carry you on outside of here, not just the cooking skills, but mise en place, you know, everything. You have to put everything in its place, and that really, really helps you out.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck down the line.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Chef Janet and Chef Deke as well. And there you have it, MCC's Sage Bistro, and our instructors and our students from the Institute of Culinary Arts. Stop in sometime when class is in session for great food and great service. For Metropolitan Community College and Metro and more, I'm Kent Pavelka. If you have comments or questions about the program, please email us at metrovision@mccneb.edu. Thanks for watching.